Roll sound.
Speed.
Roll camera.
Speeding.
Slate.
Scene 1, take 1, mark.
And action.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Burnie's Applebox, and I'm here with my main man today, Greg Flores.
Hello everybody.
Our first guest on Burnie's Applebox, and I got him back today because he's got some awesome stuff. Now, Greg is the creator of Grip Rigs, and also he's got a new site out, gripsupport.com. So I wanted to have him come back. You can see we got a little different digs today because I wanted him to show us his site so we can go Facebook Live and do that. We've set that up. We're here at my home studio lot. And so we're going to check out Greg's site, check out Grip Rigs, and I'm going to show you my new site a little bit too, Onset University. So we're really excited about this, Greg. Thanks for coming back.
It took me 3 years to build this site.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I read a book called The Compound Effect. Which
Okay.
started it all off because The Compound Effect was by Darren Hardy.
Okay.
And what I learned was that you can do anything you want if you do a little bit at a time.
That's awesome
Yeah,
advice.
so whether it's losing weight or you want to start something new or you want something in the future. So what I did was I slowly started working on this site. You know, I'd work on it for 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour here. It took me 3 years to build this, but it's finally out. I launched it January 1st of this year, and I'm really excited about it. I got so many advertisers on there backing me up, and I'm
Yeah. That's so awesome. And I love you say the little bit at a time, and that goes with everything. Now that it's up too, you're taking it step by step. But I know this site is so popular too. I hope I'm not saying anything wrong here, but you went to people and asked them to advertise.
Yeah, man, I had to go into all these companies, all the biggest grip companies.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
a question. How many said no?
So far to date, not one said no. And
I think you might have something going on.
well, I
Greg.
think it's because if you believe in something and you have passion towards something, it's going to work because somebody's going to believe in you. Whether you have the money or not, whatever you do, it's going to work because somebody out there is going to believe in you.
That's right. And you know, the most important thing, Greg, and I think this is something that I learned late in life, you know, believe in yourself first.
Exactly.
Bet on yourself first. You know, if you're somebody who's going to disappoint somebody else, you should be disappointing yourself first because you're not going to let that happen.
Right.
If you live up to your own standards and try to continually make them higher, you're going to do better and better and better, no matter what your profession is. But it's certainly true in film and video.
Right. I also learned that you have to go against your fears. Whatever fears you have, you got to go against it.
So true.
I was so scared to go into some of these companies like American and Modern and Matthews, and I went in there. You know, I said a prayer before I went in there, and it worked. Every single time I went in there, it worked. I came out. I wanted to run out of there screaming, but I walked out of there with composure, and I drove away. You know.
Yeah,
It felt
and
great.
you know that's so important, and that's such a good lesson, I think, for anybody that's going into something new. And in our industry, you're always learning something new. You're
Right.
always walking into situations.
Everything's
that-
new.
Everything's
Because
new all the
script-
time
yeah.
because the environment changes, the scripts change, the
Exactly.
needs change, the budgets change. So it's always new. And you know, one of the things too that I found is just going in there with an open heart. Just say, look, I don't know if it's going to work or not,
Right.
but I know everything I know I'm going to put towards the solution.
And I've learned that failures are the best because the more you fail, the more you learn. So
Yeah,
every time I failed, I looked at it like it was a great opportunity. I felt like the next thing I do is going to be way better because now I already know how it went wrong. You know? And that's
right.
It's big.
That's
It's big.
right. That's right. And I think, you know, one thing I used to do, and it was like, I wrote, you know, no one talks about lighting the elephant in the room, which is about my career and how I got started midlife and how it came in.
Yeah, it's amazing how you did that.
One of the things in that book, though, that I really focus on is that I was a self-sabotager for a long time. You know, I would go and think, oh, man, you messed up. You screwed up. You know, that's like, you know, in the old days, in the old way I used to be, I would have never shown up again. But in this business, I said, I'm going to conquer it. I'm going to come back again and again. I don't care how bad I look. I don't care who blackballs me. I'm coming back, and I'm in the business.
Time is your friend, too. The more time that goes by, people forget.
So true. Well, it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, somebody's going to screw up. It's their turn. So
yeah, exactly.
You don't have to worry about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I know that, and we're going to talk about the site in a minute. We'll show it and do all that. But, I want to talk to you because Greg was my first guest. And I was pretty new to the whole situation and everything. So I want to kind of go back and re-interview Greg again because the story is so amazing. And it's such an inspirational thing. And I think it just really speaks to all our grip brothers and sisters out there. Grip, sound,
I love
whatever.
gripping.
Yeah. But is the way you started. So let's go back now. I met you 20 plus years ago.
Right.
And that
About
was just
the
a
same time I
shoot
started.
that they hired me, one of my first small van jobs, and you were out there. They got you on and another buddy, I can't remember his name. But tell me about your childhood. Was anybody involved in the business in your family?
No, nobody was involved in the business in my family, but I grew up in Orange County, California, and my dad relocated his job to San Diego, California. I went out there, and we were poor, and I grew up in a bad neighborhood. A lot of things happened to me. I got shot. I got stabbed.
Wow.
A lot of things we don't know.
You got shot?
Yeah, I got shot.
Man.
And,
how old were you?
I was 16 when that happened, but thanks to God.
Wow.
I'm still here.
Could you tell me the circumstances on that?
I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay.
Yeah. But since then, I grew up, and I graduated high school, even though I failed in everything. I got expelled in elementary, got expelled in junior high, got expelled in high school. And
it sounds like a G&E guy to me.
yeah, and somehow I went back and I graduated high school,
Yeah.
and I ended up getting a career in the film industry. The
Yeah.
way I did that was they were holding an interview at Stu Siegel Productions, which was a production company. It's still
Okay.
there, but now they don't do much filming.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I actually got an interview with Stu Siegel himself.
Okay.
It was great. He loved it. He hired me on the spot. He told me to show up on stage 1 on Monday, and I showed up, and first guy I met told me what to do, and I loved it ever since.
Yeah. So Stu Siegel, who's pretty much of a legend in
Right.
Southern California,
He's
certainly
trained
San
so many
Diego.
people. That
Yeah.
place, so many good people came out of Stu Siegel Productions. Some of the best in the industry.
Almost every single person I know in San Diego worked for Stu Siegel.
And they're all
at
great,
some time.
right?
They're all great.
Yeah,
they're all
they
great,
all know what
solid players.
Yeah,
because
I don't
he
know how
gave
they
them a
do that.
learning environment.
He did.
Where you could go in there, and it wasn't like you had to go to Hollywood, but you could go into someplace kind of safe and learn. And I think that's the greatest thing about what he's doing. And I know his business model is still working to this day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he's still got the studio there, but now he trains.
He
for
trains the
military.
Marines. Yeah,
Smart man.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. So anyway, you went to work for Stu. Who was your first key grip? Who was the first
Rue
key grip?
Flower, which
Who?
is Rue Flower. He's still a key grip in Hollywood, California.
Okay.
He's on Life in Pieces right now.
Okay.
Man, he was rough. He was a tough key grip to work for.
Yeah.
But it taught me a lot. He never had any patience. He was like, "Let's go, bring it in." you know?
So you knew you had to be there right now.
Yeah, and I only had a 2-month internship, so I knew that I had to,
2 months you had to make it
I was
happen.
just this little Mexican kid coming in. I didn't think I had a chance, so I really had to fight for it. What
Yeah.
I did was I learned all the equipment, and I learned how to load the truck. So when
Two
they would
very
bring the
important
carts at the
things.
end of the day, I'd load the truck. I knew all the equipment. Anytime they called for anything, I could bring it in, And I slowly started to see what they were doing, and I started to understand what they were doing. And once I understood that, then I can go in on the set and see where the camera's pointed and see what they were shooting. Because sometimes you walk in on a set and you don't know what's going on. It's overwhelming.
You have no context.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. But even I've been on big shoots, I've been on small shoots, they're all the same. It all comes down to one camera pointed at something. What's that camera seeing? What's the camera not seeing? Once you understand that, you could do anything.
Yeah, just outside of that frame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's fundamentals that go with it, but you learn those as it goes.
Yeah. So you went there, you started working, and then obviously you made it past your 8 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And what was it like when you got in there? Let me ask you this. Maybe not a polite question. How much money did you make back then? What
Back
was your
then,
pay?
I was making, as an intern, it was $100 a day. Everybody else was making $200 a day, and that was for 13 and a half hours.
Okay, and that was what year?
And that was in 1997.
1997. So you were making a living.
Oh, man,
you were
I
bringing
loved it.
home some
$100 a
cash.
day, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's great.
I wasn't complaining.
No. So then you worked under him. What was your job? Did you just come on as a hammer then?
Yeah, I
after
came
that?
on as a grip.
Okay.
I loved being a grip. All you do is you listen to the key grip, and you have to understand lighting, understand the equipment, so you can bring it in and you can use it. And a lot of times on the set, people don't know, but it's stressful. Mm-hmm. People think it's a glamorous thing. It's not always glamorous. It's stressful.
Oh, it's
the
labor.
sun's going down.
Yeah.
Things are going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people have attitudes. Some people have, they just have a time crunch. You have this actor for a certain amount of time. You have this kid for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And
everybody's very much on the
and if they need anything from you, you got to get it done.
Yeah. So when you were in there learning that, how long did you stay with Stu?
I stayed with Stu for 11 years.
Mm-hmm. Wow, 11 years.
Yeah.
That's an eternity in this business,
Yeah, it is.
working for the same person for that long.
Yeah.
Doing this type of work.
Well, there's different productions would come into town and
Sure.
we'd do all different shows.
Sure.
Yeah.
In between productions, would he keep you on, or were you laid off?
No,
then?
I learned to do the unemployment thing.
Yeah, doing the
That
and
saved
then-
me.
And then you learned how to start looking for work,
Correct.
right? Yeah. And tell me about that when you started looking for work, when you weren't working for Stu. What were your first things that you learned? What did you do to network?
Well, there was a small company here in town, and they're not around anymore, but it was San Diego Stage and Lighting.
Okay.
They're still around, but they don't do the film part of it.
Okay.
And they had a grip truck because they had a key grip that transferred and ended up working with them,
Okay.
Mike Howell. And I ended up working for him, driving that truck, and it was a grip and lighting truck. They had a few lights in there, and they had grip equipment in there.
Sure.
And I ended up just driving that truck, and I would do video shoots and I would do photo shoots for people and go in there and just do whatever they needed. So I learned how to light the set, and I
That's
learned how to do
awesome.
grip and
That's
things like that.
awesome.
So that slowly started creating different jobs. Once I understood the lighting,
Yeah.
it was so easy after that.
Then the grip made sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of outside people don't understand is that flow between lighting and grip. We kind of, I guess, take it for granted, and a lot of us, like in my world, we're gripticians.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, you kind of have to be if you want to really be a
in
good
in
one
the
out there.
smaller shoots. You have
Yeah,
to be.
union
The
shoots, you can't
non-union
do that,
stuff.
but-
The union shoots, you're very.
But if you understand
compartmentalized.
lighting, it's way better.
Yes, absolutely.
It's way better because when the gaffer's doing things, you understand what he's doing, what light he's doing,
and what he's
going to
need next.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a big key to being on set is trying to predict what's the next thing
Oh,
that's going to be
absolutely.
out there. Yeah. If you could
Absolutely.
do that, you're on top of your game.
Well, then you're a player.
Yeah,
Then you're a
of
player
course.
because you're actually pushing the production ahead.
Of
You're
course.
pushing it forward. I know that's one thing on my shoots when I'm asked. Most of the time, I'm not concerned about what we're doing right now. I'm concerned about where we're going next.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
moving forward.
That's where I'm putting my energy into, and I'm assigning guys to that so they can just push it forward.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've had big crews now.
Yeah.
And,
So what is an average size, say, on one of the shows you're doing now for a grip crew?
well, the last show that I did, I had an 8-man crew.
Oh,
it was
wow.
called The
Plus
Real
your-
O'Neills.
Plus yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and 8 guys.
Yeah.
And that was the real O'Neills.
And all those 8 guys are needed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
everybody's working all day.
What kind of equipment were you building?
Well, I was building everything. We're on studio. We're at Disney Studios.
Okay.
Every set is different, so you use just about everything out there. But you have a rigging crew, which is great. So they're always ahead of you, and they're always behind you. Before you get to a set, they got you all prepped and ready to go. They got your equipment there. They have
Yeah.
everything you need. I tell them what I need. They have it all ready to go. Then when I leave the set, they come back and clean it up.
Okay.
And then I have my team that stays with me.
Yeah.
And we do our thing.
Yeah. So then when you go to that set, the hot set.
Yeah.
And then that crew that just got done rigging is off to the next one, rigging another one.
Yeah, well, they clean up after you, and then
They clean up after, and then
jump
they're
ahead,
rigging the other one. Yeah. Okay, very good. And just say on the reel and eels, let's use that for an example because they're all different. How many guys are on the pre-rig crew?
Well, it all depends on what you're shooting.
It might be 3 to 5 or something, and you might have a skeleton crew on the hot
Correct.
set.
Yeah, everything's different. It also depends on the budget for that
Right.
episode or whatever, you know.
So each individual episode might be skinnied down a little bit or expanded depending on where they're at.
But it's amazing the things you can ask for these days, and they show up, you know.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like a chain motor, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And to hang it, you need a lot of manpower.
Yeah.
You know, you hang that and...
So you did some chain motors and stuff. Would you
Yeah, a lot of chain motors, yeah.
And then put those on truss, right? In
Well,
the
we had a
stage,
huge backyard set. In this case, we had a huge backyard set.
Okay.
And we had to replicate the sun because it's backyard, but we're on stage.
Sure. Oh, you're on stage?
Yeah, we're on stage.
Oh,
The
I
whole
got
thing
you. I
is
thought you
done
were on
on stage.
location. Yeah.
No, so we're at Disney Studios.
Okay.
And there's a huge house. It's a 2-story house on stage.
Okay.
You know, but they built both stories.
Next to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you go in the backyard, it needs to be daytime, right? You need the sun.
Right.
Right? So we had to do a bunch of lights out there, and they had to be able to go up and down and left and right whenever you needed.
Okay.
And you don't have time while you're filming. You don't have time to do things.
Yeah.
So you have to make it, during the pre-rig, you have to
Yeah.
make it so that it's ready to go.
So how long do they give you on the pre-rig on that?
Usually it's 1 day.
1 day?
Yeah. Well, if you're saying prepping for the whole show?
Prepping for the whole show, yeah.
that-
Say before the show starts, and you're in this environment. The 2 stories are right next to each other in the backyard. How long does your crew?
They give
have
me
to
3
rig?
weeks.
3 weeks.
And we used every bit of that 3 weeks.
Wow, all 8 guys for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes more, but sometimes we gotta go out to lunch for an hour. Sometimes
Yeah.
we gotta go to breakfast for an hour. So
Yeah.
there's breaks you have to do when you're in the union.
Because it's a union thing.
yeah, you got. So you lose a lot of time.
Right. There's the startup, slow
Yeah.
down and start up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. It seems like, most of the shoots I'm on, there's really no prep time. You show up with a plan and
Oh, right.
execute it.
You still get a tech scout though, right?
Yeah, I'd say 50% of the time. And the other 50% of the time, I mean, most people will give you a tech scout if it's even feasible. But, a lot of my clients, they come out from New York.
Oh, I see.
They're not going to be there until
Well, it's tough with
the
that as
day
tech
of the
scout because
shoot.
you really don't know what you're shooting. you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a tech scout, it's tough. And I've gone on tech scouts where I've gone, oh my God, if I didn't do this tech scout, what would have happened?
Right.
Because you're not prepared. And I've gone on tech scouts like I know you have, and you have to. But you go up to the production manager at noon, and you go, I need 3 more guys.
Right.
You realize that.
A tech scout is basically when you walk into a set or where you're going to be shooting and you find out what you're going to do.
Yeah, yeah. And you find out, too, things like obvious things, what is the line in the sun, so you know where you're going to be
Yeah,
at
exactly.
there, where the daylight's going to be coming from. And then you realize the only place I can park the generator from an electric point of view is 2,000 feet, half mile away or something, where it's just not very convenient. And we have to take trucks here, offload them, and then park the trucks in some parking lot somewhere. And you didn't know any of that until the tech scout. If that's the case, you got to order more wire, you got to get more guys, you got to, you got to take care of the problems that
That's what
come
the
up,
scout is for,
and you
right.
got to understand that's a problem too. I think, in my learning curve when I started, I didn't always identify things as a problem. I was looking just at the environment. I wasn't looking at the logistics of everything, and logistics are everything in this business, So let me ask you, Greg, so you are the Key Grip. You're Key Grip renowned. You've got grip rigs, you've got your new site, grip support and stuff like that. How do your jobs come to you now?
Now I've been in the business so long where I know so many people now. I know so many gaffers that became director of photographies. The
Gotcha.
gaffers call me, the director of photography call me. People recommend you. This whole business is built on word of mouth.
And relationships.
Right.
Relationships.
Yeah.
So they know when they hire Greg Flores who they're getting.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. How many active in your network, how many active people do you think there are that are actually working out there in the thick of it right now? Would you say that would give you a call? Just give me a general idea.
There's a lot.
25?
Yeah.
50?
I honestly don't know the number.
Yeah. Okay.
I just know so many people.
That
My phone
word
is so
getting out.
huge
Yeah.
with contacts.
Yeah. And what I find too is even if you don't know the people, a lot of people have heard of you, and that when your name comes up, they're much more willing to give you a chance.
It's a reputation in this business. It really is.
Yeah. And
that's why you don't want to have a bad attitude.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
The reputation works both ways.
You want to have a positive attitude. You want to go in there. There's a big thing too. Set etiquette is huge. Huge.
Tell me about that. Tell me about set etiquette.
When you walk on a set, you have to know what's going on. You have to know how to act. You don't want to start a long conversation with people. You want to start short conversations. If you have questions, you should ask questions that have short answers.
Yep.
Because when you're on set, you're focusing on what you're doing, and you don't want to be loud. You want to have a good attitude. You don't want to bring people down.
Yeah, and it's not the place where you review movies or talk about. You're on that set to do a job and push that production.
Right. And you could sit down when they're rolling and things like that. But when they're not rolling, you should be standing up. You should be focused. If you're having a conversation, be looking at what's going on at the same time.
And you should always be looking at your lead. Right. That's what I think. Looking at your lead. What's he doing? What's she doing? And is there any way I can assist? Because that's something that I see a lot of people do. They go, okay, I've done my job. Now I'm sitting down and watching. They're not watching what the lead's doing. As a gaffer, I'm at the monitor. I've got eye contact. I'm by the DP. I've got a line, and as a gaffer too, I'm talking to the production manager, or maybe I'm talking to makeup, about what's coming up or what their needs are or something like that. But if I've got a guy, and there's some great guys I work with, I know they've got my back. Yeah. I know they are watching.
That's the key, hiring good people.
Bingo. Yeah. That's really.
And every job is different. Yeah. So you got to pick the key players for what you're doing at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a secret that I learned too: if you're standing around on set, hold on to something. Stand there holding onto a ladder, hold on to a C-stand. Yeah. Don't just stand there with your hands in your pocket.
Yeah,
that's a big key.
Yeah. Because it looks like you're doing nothing then. You're holding on your phone, to something.
Turn the other way. Don't let
get
them
off
see
set
you.
if you're on your phone.
Exactly.
Get off set. Hide. And maybe you got to be on your phone. I know.
Right.
That's.
Unless the script's on your phone.
Yeah. Right. Well, me, I use. Rare I have a computer in front of me. Very rare. I mean, most of us, I think, in our G&E world, we live on the phone. I do everything on the phone.
Yeah, now emails, you gotta answer those things fast. Remember back in the day when they first came out?
Oh, man.
You couldn't answer an email until you got home.
I remember back in the day, I mean, I actually remember receiving call sheets in the mail, so it goes back that far for me. But I remember when the emails and stuff.
Call sheets in the mail?
Yeah. Because think about it. How else are they going to get it to you, right? When there wasn't email, when it wasn't a big thing, And I remember when emails started coming on, and I'd go, she'd go, did you get my email? I go, I don't know. I'll have to go home first and find out, And so then I'd go home and get the email. And it'd be like, oh, your call is, I get home at like 10 o'clock and, oh, your call is 4 a.m. tomorrow up in Santa Clarita,
industry.
And finally, I mean, I went out and had to get a phone that got email. I got a BlackBerry. That's what I got. And you have got to be on top of it, and your guys are going to get booked, and it adds to your bottom line. You got to get the information to work,
Exactly.
So, no, there's so many things like that. What do you tell a new guy coming on your crew?
I tell him to focus, pay attention, know what's going on, watch the set, know the equipment that you're using. That's basically it. Just stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused.
Stick by me.
Yeah, good advice. Name a couple of your favorite guys. Name a couple of the guys that you have on set with you all the time.
I've had the same team for a long time. I got a lot of good guys with me. I'd feel bad naming some of them because
maybe leave somebody out.
Out.
Yeah, I got you.
But I have such a great team
That's
of people
awesome.
out there, man.
That's awesome. And you keep these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I call them, they're available. They make themselves available. It's great.
You know what? If you're out there listening, if you're somebody getting into the business, and I know you know this if you're in the business, but listen to what this guy's saying right now, because he's telling you the truth. You know, I know so many people that I ask after they've been in the business for a year or two, I go, is this what you thought it was? And every one of them says, no, I had no idea. This is about you. This is about you being on it. This is about you being here. This is about you making it. And what you're doing is supporting somebody else up and down the line your whole career. So that's why it's so important.
Yeah, you should have passion for what you're doing. You know?
Yeah.
And
So,
be into the project too.
oh, you've got to be. Yeah.
It's not just a job, it's a career, you know. If
That's
you want
right.
it to be a career, it's a career. You got to act like it's a career. You can't go in there just waiting for a paycheck.
Exactly. Oh, that won't work.
No,
You'll
right.
be out. And you know what? It's not about any individual show. It's about how you do over 20 years.
Right.
You know, you can make mistakes. Everybody's going to screw up once or twice. You know,
What I'm saying is the mistakes are what you learn from. There's
That's
going to
right.
be mistakes. You
That's
want
right.
mistakes sometimes.
That's right. Now, speaking of passion, your passion project, number one, just let me say that Grip Rigs on Facebook and Instagram. How many people you got on Grip Rigs on Facebook?
It's about 73,000.
Okay.
Something like that.
And how about Instagram?
Instagram's about 117,000.
Okay. So go to Grip Rigs on either of those venues, and I will tell you, it's almost a lesson. You know, if you just go through those pictures and look at them, it's
basically
almost a
what
lesson.
Grip Rigs is a site where everybody around the world can share their rigs from their sets. So they send me their rigs, I look them over, and I say, wow, this is an amazing rig, and I put it on there. That's basically how it works. I give them credit for it, and
Yeah.
it works that way. Somehow
so-
everybody's into it.
And so you just wait to the ones that impress you, and those are the ones that you post.
Right, because people send me some crazy rigs.
There's a whole separate site for them, right? So you know what? And I know, and I'm going to talk about this. I think I'm going to have you show us a little bit of Grip Rigs, but before that, let's talk a little about your real passion that you're going with now, and that you worked 3 years on, which is gripsupport.com.
Yeah, man. It took me 3 years to build gripsupport.com.
What was your motivation?
My motivation was I want to be closer to my family. That's my biggest motivation. So in order to do that, I have to come out with assets. Assets are things that make you money. Grip Support is a thing that's going to make me money in the future. And I built it because I have the passion for what I do, which is gripping. And I love what I do. I don't want to leave this career. But sometimes I can't do it 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. You know, sometimes you have to spend time with your family.
Right.
And that's my real passion for what I'm doing.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to stop you right there, because I think that's something, too, that, you know, my family is me and my wife, you know, but right up till yesterday, and probably including today, you know, I have to deal with leaving her alone a lot of times when I'm out doing
That's
the work.
tough, right?
It is tough, and it's not, and I feel like in a lot of ways it's not fair either. Now, I don't know that there's anything I can particularly do about it, because I've got a career, I'm making a living, I've worked hard for that. And, you know, it's something that you just have to do, but it's something I think that this is really important, that you got to take into consideration.
Yeah, you got to take time
your
out.
family, and and it's part of your career.
Right,
Keeping
yeah.
your family together is part of your career, and you can't
Exactly, yeah.
ignore it.
I have 4 kids, so
Wow.
it was tough for me. You know?
Wow.
Two of my kids now are local 80 members.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're grips out there.
Is that right?
One of them right now is on Last Man on Earth.
Oh, is that
He's
right?
a grip on Last Man on Earth, and another one is. He just texted me the other day. He said, Dad, I'm working with Snoop Dogg this week. I told him that's the shizzle, my
He's
nizzle.
made it. He's at the top. He's at the top.
Right.
Do you ever hire your kids?
Yeah, my son just became union on the last show on The Real O'Neills. He was with me pretty much full time.
Wow,
You know,
that's great.
But I can't treat him like my son when we're
No.
working. I got to give him, you know.
you probably kick him a little harder, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because I expect a lot of my kids.
Sure,
You know?
absolutely. So, with Grip Rigs, you do that. Are you ready to show us a little bit of that? Are we good?
Well, grips. I would love to show you grip support because it involves grip rigs in it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Show us. This is grip support, and this is what you've been working for 3 years on.
Correct.
And just before we get into this too, your motivation, you say, was to be with your family.
Right.
And
but
spend
also
more
my other
time.
motivation is to bring all the grip companies together.
Yeah.
That's a big motivation too, because the way it works right now is there's so many grip companies out there and each one has a website for themselves.
Right.
Right. So what I did was,
And they're all kind of specialists
right.
too.
And
Yeah.
as a key grip, a lot of times we go on a tech scout and we need equipment, right? And sometimes we're shooting somewhere else, like Las Vegas or Iowa or wherever
Sure.
you're at, right? And you need equipment or you need things from all these sites.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
only way to find them is you have to know where they are or who they are.
Yeah.
So what I did was, it took me 3 years, but I looked up every single thing and I found every single thing grip related around the world. I'm sure there's some missing.
Wow.
But I put them all into a database.
So that's a lot of research. That's a huge amount of research. Tell me how you did it. What was your workflow like? Because
Well,
you're
what I
working
would do
on
is I would-
sets every day too.
Yeah, what I would do is I would concentrate on one thing at a time.
Okay.
That's how I did it.
Okay.
So let's say I would find all the drone companies
Okay.
or all the airplane companies that tailor to the grip industry.
Okay.
Things like that, or all the camera crane companies. What I would do is I would look up each
You
one.
broke it down and took it in sections
Yeah.
and then searched for companies that supplied those things.
Right, and I had to make sure that they supply the motion picture industry, not the video industry or
Right.
the photography industry.
Right.
Because
You
this
wanted
is more for us. Yeah.
specifically sort of the big entertainment
Right.
type world. Let me just say something here real quick, because I think everybody, anybody who has watched the Applebox before has seen a whole different environment. My crack team, Nick Brandstetter, Hunter Rogers, and Travis Thomas, these guys and myself, we put this, mostly them. I kind of just sat here, to be honest with you. But these guys put this whole thing together, and this is an experiment today.
This is great.
We're seeing if it works or not. So there may be times where I've got to ask somebody off camera or whatever if we're ready for something. Are we up on the? We're up on the computer. Okay, great. And thank you guys. Awesome job, because we were practicing it at 1:45. So it's a great job. Thanks a lot, and we're going to do a lot more of these. But show us what we got here, Greg. Take us through it.
Okay, well, this is gripsupport.com. The way it works is this front page has everything you need to find around the world. So if you're looking for aerial, or let's say you're looking for camera crane, you click on camera cranes.
Okay.
It pulls up a database with all the camera cranes.
What have
around
I
the world.
got here? Let me take a look
So
at that.
let's pretend that we're shooting in Germany. Let's
Okay.
say. So you would type in Germany,
Okay.
and you would not think that many companies had a camera crane in Germany.
Oh my gosh.
Same thing in, let's say, UK.
Okay. And
Right.
those are all for camera cranes and jib arms
Correct.
in the UK.
Correct. It's broken down into that.
Wow. And there
We have camera dollies. We have construction equipment, which is like
Let's
condors.
go to camera dollies. Let's go
Okay,
to camera dollies.
You would think it's just a few, right? No.
How
There's a
many of
lot
them
of them.
are there? How many of them are there in there?
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, that's 100 easy.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because I broke it down into where they're at.
Okay.
So it might be the same companies, J.L. Fisher or Chapman or Panther.
So I'm just reading here: Michigan, UK, Hungary, Germany, Los Angeles.
yeah, and grips around the world are totally
Arizona.
different. Here in the United States, we do lighting and we do camera support.
Yeah.
In other places like Europe, UK,
Okay.
Germany, they all do only camera support.
Okay.
Because there's a saying that the gripping came from back in the day when they had the rolling cameras, when you had to,
I remember those days,
yeah,
Greg.
right. Yeah, back in your days when you had those, they needed
Once I was on I Love Lucy, it all got so much easier.
they needed people to hold on to the tripod because
Yeah.
it would shake the camera.
Right,
Right.
right.
And those were known as the good grips.
Those were
back
the
then.
grips.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And from
that.
there, well, that's where the saying goes.
Okay.
And from there, we became camera support. So we started
Okay.
supporting the camera.
Ah.
And so
grip
that's why
support.
in some places around the world, they do not do lighting. They only deal with camera support.
Yeah.
Here, we do half lighting. We
Yeah.
work with the electricians.
So in some countries, a grip is attached to the camera
That's it.
department
Yeah.
only. Interesting. I didn't know that.
And so let's see what else. So you have all these things, grip truck equipment rentals around the world.
Okay, let's see that. Let's see grip truck.
So grip trucks.
Look at Bernie's grip and lighting. Is that in there? Did you get me in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
there it is. You just start typing
Oh,
Burnie.
there you go.
Right.
Perfect. Love it. Love it.
Or you could type in the location too if you're just in Orange County. You know,
But put it in Orange County.
there you go.
Awesome.
So it breaks it down.
That is
You know some of those
awesome.
people?
I know a few. I know all of them, actually.
great.
Yeah.
That's your competition.
You know what? That's something, Greg, and I think that you know, this is my feeling on it. Sure, we're in the same business, but I think if you're doing things right in this business, there is no competition. I think the competition is
I
yourself.
agree with you there.
You go out there and you do the best job that you can, and somebody has a preference for somebody else, or they select that person. It's not that they're not selecting you. You just keep your standards high. You keep going. You go hard. You go
Yeah.
fast. And, you know, don't worry about the competition. You're your own competition.
Yeah, there's
If
a
you
lot of
let
people
go-
that are afraid of saying no to jobs.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You got to say no. It's not like they're not going to call you again. They're going to call you again eventually. You know?
I
Sometimes no
totally-
is bigger than yes.
Isn't that the truth? Hear that. Listen to that. Sometimes no is bigger than yes. I will tell you what, that builds a career. That attitude right there builds a career, because you got to know no is as important as yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, that's great advice. That's great advice, you know. What
me
else have
show
we
you-
got here?
All right, so that's the front page. The way that this front page works is it shows you all those
So
databases.
you can go down into these databases, and we got aerial cable, camera
Right.
dollies, construction equipment, expendable. You know, go to expendables just for me there.
Expendables, they're everywhere.
Wow. And you've got their email addresses, or no, that's their websites.
That's their website.
I've
It
got
goes
you.
right to their website,
I've
yeah.
got you.
And then on the front page, the way it works, all those on the side, all those companies are all the advertisers.
So
that I
those
have
are your
going.
sponsors.
Yeah,
there.
all my
Okay,
sponsors.
awesome.
Some of these, they contacted me.
That's awesome.
Which is
Of
great.
course, I can see why. It's an awesome site.
Yeah, today we just landed Fox grip equipment. I'm really excited about
Great,
that. Yeah.
great. That's fantastic.
Okay, so now let me go into the blog, which is
Okay,
the next one.
sure.
This is how I keep bringing people back. I just recently made this video for Modern,
Okay.
you know, and I'm coming up with all these articles. I'm still learning as it goes. This one's from
Gotcha.
Matthews here.
Okay.
This one's just a story about grips.
Okay. So you found all this material and you put it in the blog library.
Yeah.
So if people are interested, they can go there and
They can go there and see any
Search
of
it.
these videos. Yeah,
That's
they're really
great.
insightful. It's all about gripping.
it probably get a lot of great rigs on there too, I imagine.
And it's going to keep coming every week. I do something new.
Okay,
I'm
great.
right now, I'm working on something exciting.
What is
I
it?
went over to American the other day, and I wanted to find out how they made a C-stand.
Uh-huh.
I went in there, and they said, "We're not making a C-stand today." I said, "Do you mind making one for me?" And I could shoot it.
Yeah.
And I bought a 7D camera, and I went in there, and I filmed them make a C-stand.
Wow.
So now I have the footage for how they make an American C-stand. I can't wait
Wow.
to put it out.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Also
because
a
that is a good product.
Right, and a baby pin, how they make a baby pin.
Yeah.
You know, I asked them, how can I film you guys making a baby pin? And they said they have a CNC machine, and I wouldn't be able to film it because it's inside the machine where it drills everything.
Oh, okay.
So I said, well, let me attach my GoPro inside of there.
And you did?
I did it. I got the footage.
Awesome.
It's great. I
can't
can't
wait
wait
to
to show it
see
her.
that. Yeah,
it's pretty
that's
cool.
great.
Okay, the next section after the blog
This is
is
Get a Grip.
You
Okay.
could anybody can join here if you're a grip, whether you're union or not. You just go on there on Join Grip Database and put your information in, and we'll add you
So
on.
you can add yourself. You can add yourself
Yeah.
on here. Oh, that's awesome.
It won't go on automatically. I have to check it.
You have to
can-
preview
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But the way it works is it gives your job title, key grip, Greg
Okay.
Flores, gives you the location where they work, Los Angeles, San Diego,
Okay.
gives you their union. I'm 80
Okay.
and I'm 122.
What's 122?
122 is a local union in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grip union.
Yeah, so if a job comes into San Diego and they're union, they can only hire union members.
122.
Yeah, so that's
Gotcha.
why I'm union there.
Okay.
And it gives you your contact info, which is your email address. I try not
Okay.
to put phone numbers on here, so it's not so personal.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they'll give you a phone number later.
Yeah, I
and then
gotcha.
you could also add your IMDb if you want.
Awesome.
Which it sends you there, and that's kind of like your resume.
You know
nowadays.
what? We're going to go back, and I want to go through your IMDb, and I want to take a look at it. Not right now. We'll go through the site, but later on, let's do that and talk about some of the stuff you've worked on.
And then let's go to the next section, which is classifieds. Mm-hmm. This is basically people can buy and sell used equipment.
Okay. Somebody's got a grip truck for sale. Now, how do you sanitize this once the item sells, or how do they?
Yeah, they let me know
work?
once it sells and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
great.
I'm hoping that this switches later from a classified to a store. That's what I'm working on right now.
Gotcha.
Where I want it to be like if you're looking for a C-stand out there and you want to buy a C-stand, you should be able to see all the C-stands out there from every manufacturer in one place.
Yeah, and pick one out.
Yeah, same thing with any piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So that's how
good
that's going to
idea.
work later.
That's a good idea.
Oh, also in the get a grip section,
Yeah.
on the last section, I'm working on a way for people to say that they're available and not available. That's what I'm working on right now.
Okay, like
because I think that'll be
sort of a
huge.
calendar thing, or just
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a good idea.
Because right
so
now
they can
everything's
go
word
to
of
your
mouth.
site and find someone and say, "I need somebody tomorrow who's available," and go
Yeah,
down the
and
list.
it'll say they're
Boom.
available. That's what I'm hoping for.
That'd be
I
awesome.
I think that'll be the key in the game.
That'd be awesome.
Here we go. Now we go to grip rigs,
Okay.
which it shows you the live feed from the latest grip rig that was out there.
Okay.
This was today's.
So this is all these pictures at the top of the photo gallery, the little thumbnails there, are the latest ones that you've put up.
Yeah.
So somebody could go there and just find the most
Yeah,
recent
and it goes to the
stuff.
live Instagram feed.
Okay, let's take a look.
And then
and then you break it down.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
break it down into albums. This is the amazing part about this site. So if you wanted to find anything out there, like let's say you're looking to do a car rig, you click on vehicle rigs,
Okay.
and it pops up all the vehicle rigs out
And then
there.
click on one of those for me, would you? Click on one of those thumbnails.
Let's see here. Well, there's so many.
Just any one. I just want to take a look and
I want to pick a cool one.
yeah.
Well, let's see this one right here.
right.
This is from Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how it's working.
Yeah. Technology.
Well, you know what? You got to sign into Facebook here.
Oh, you
if
do?
wanna click
Oh,
on
okay.
it.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
But that's pretty cool, right?
That's awesome, dude. Are you kidding? You know, because I know a lot of guys, I get asked, I'm electric and grip, but I don't ever sell myself as a key grip. I mean, I can assist, but I'm not a key grip. People ask me all the time, like, oh, how do I do a car rig? How do you just say, there's no one answer on how you do a car rig. Every car is different.
Honestly, I never look at it when I'm doing a car rig because every shot is different.
Every
you know?
shot's different.
And it depends
every car
what you
is
have.
different.
And it depends what you have also.
Yeah, and what the shot is. What, I mean,
Yeah,
somebody,
yesterday I was doing a Toyota commercial and it was a tough shot. They wanted a camera on the hood right up against the windshield and they wanted to tilt up from the sky, right? Tilt up, then tilt down into the windshield. Well, when you tilt up, the back end of the camera is going to hit the hood and they wanted the camera on the hood of the car.
Oh my God.
So I had to figure this out, right? So first thing I did was have them pull the hood off. Then we had to bring in a small jib arm. We had to undersling a lambda head, which is just a way of getting the camera closer.
Were you on a
shorter to the
process
ground.
trailer or?
Yeah, I was on a process
okay,
trailer.
Gotcha.
So I put a dolly on the front of the process trailer, did all that. And then we had to stabilize the arm. Everything worked great. They were happy. Clients were happy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it worked out.
Wow.
You know?
How long before the shoot did you know that you'd have to do that shot?
Well, I had a tech scout last Friday for that.
Okay.
So I had plenty of time to figure it out.
And then you figured it out and you just
Yeah.
made sure you had the
A lot of
equipment
emails
that-
back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is kind of tough because when you're off and you're dealing
Well,
with
you
all
know
these
what?
emails.
Exactly, dude.
We should get paid for emails, man.
If I got paid by the email, dude, I would. If I got paid just by the email and phone call, I wouldn't have to be here right now.
Right.
Every time, and here's part of that family thing because it comes back in. You don't know, and I know you know, but how many times I'm sitting there 8:30, 9:30, and I'm answering an email for somebody in some other part of the world
Right.
that it's their midday. And I'm trying to communicate with them. I did a job for a lady over in France that was coming out to San Diego, and that was finally. And of course, there's the language barrier there too. But yes, you've got to do it all the time, and calling your guys, because that's the other thing. So you call the guys that you want. You have to make their list, send that to production. Production gets a hold of them, and then you've got to call each guy a couple times.
There's so much that happens after a Tech Scout. After a Tech Scout, you got to order the dolly. You got to order the special equipment.
Yeah.
You got to order the expendables, the grip equipment.
Yeah.
And you have to be, and your guys. So
and
that's
your guys.
That's a lot of people. It's a lot of things to do, a lot of emails.
That's a full day. Right there.
And then you got to answer them after they answer you back.
Yeah, it's so true, dude.
Yeah,
it's so true.
It's
It's so true. But they're here's a thing that I have really been sort of preaching lately, Greg. Everybody, it's natural to want to be successful. Successful means you work twice as hard.
Right.
And you got to keep that level up without breaking.
Yep.
That's success. That's what you do. You
Working
have to be
extra hard,
ready for that. You have to be ready for that.
It's not just going to come easy.
And then guys like me and you, we build our websites, right? Because after we are doing all that work, because we're pushers. We like to go ahead.
Right.
So yeah, let's see some
The
more.
last thing on this site is the video section.
Okay.
We have it linked to our YouTube channel,
Okay.
Grip Rigs. And the way it works is we broke it down in playlist.
Okay.
Let's see, not now. So you broke it down in playlist. So there's this guy, Dave Donaldson, in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And he's making all these videos on grips, on grip things. Mm-hmm. It's called Grip Tips.
Grip tips, okay.
Right. So instead of me going against him because he's doing something similar to me, I called him up and I asked him if I can add him on a playlist to my channel.
Sure. Sure.
Because the more we connect,
the more connections.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
called
makes
masterminds.
Makes you powerful.
Exactly. So now we have all these other playlists: rigging videos, vehicle rigging videos, behind the scene grip videos, camera crane and process trailer videos, informative and how-to videos. We have camera crane dollies, sliders, and we have all the grip videos in this section. So the way it works is I had to find every video out there, and once I did that, I subscribed to anybody that makes a video similar to gripping. Mm-hmm. So every time they come out with a new video, I check it out.
You get a notice.
And then I put it on there.
That's awesome.
So it's one place where you can find all the videos related to gripping.
So this, for a guy who's a grip, wants that central place, this is what it is. Gripsupport.com will have everything you need, and all of the information in one central spot.
Yeah, and it's only been out for a month, so we're going to continue to grow. I'm really excited about it.
That's awesome.
I'm glad there's people that support me right now.
Oh, dude, you got an awesome product. You remember, I think it was a couple, 3 weeks before Christmas, before you launched, when you sat down here and showed me that, and frankly, I was blown away. I was not ready for that level.
I was really happy when I saw you blown away.
Yeah, I was just like, because having created a couple sites myself, not myself, but being involved with it, I know the labor involved.
Right.
The time.
And I did it all myself.
That was incredible, dude. That is incredible.
I use Wix. Wix is a great platform for building a website.
You like that. Yeah. Anybody who's out there, if you're out there right now and whatever you do, don't stop watching the show. But get on your laptop or your phone or whatever and check it out, gripsupport.com.
Yeah, if you go to the bottom left, you can subscribe also, and you'll get the latest deals and updates and what's going on around the world.
And I know some of your vendors give you special deals for your site only.
Every month, yeah.
And then and you can get the latest equipment.
Modern Mondays comes out every Monday also.
Modern Mondays, okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Wow. I'm blown away. I am blown away. There's a few minutes left. How do people get a hold of you? I guess grip support, right?
Email at gripsupport.com.
Okay.
Email at gripsupport.com.
Okay, very good.
If you have a rig that you want to post, griprigs@gmail.com.
Okay, very good.
What about your site? Let me
my
see
site, let's see. Where am I here?
Because you just launched the site this month,
I did. I launched Onset University, and let me show you just a little bit of that. I'm going to have a lot more tutorials on here in the next month. Right now, I pretty much have my tutorials mainly concern your career aspects, and your working in the business, how to network, how to do everything that you need. So what I've got here, and let me see, I don't know. Let me ask Nick back there. Nick, is this, are you on the computer right now, buddy? Okay, I got the thumbs up on that. So let's see here. Let me just show you one that we've got. I don't think we got audio set up here for the videos on this, but here's one. What do you bring to the table? And this is the type of stuff that I talk about. What do you bring to the table? And this business is really about self-assessment. You don't have any boss or supervisor who's giving you a monthly review or telling you what to do. You have to be brutally honest with yourself, and you have to look at yourself and say, what are my shortcomings? What could I do better? How should I improve myself? What am I going to do with me that makes me more valuable to my industry? You have to do that. Yeah. No one else does that. So I really talk to stuff like that. It's like when you assess yourself, you have to take a look around and say, where am I? Who's on top? Who's on bottom?
Yeah, I love what you're doing nowadays. The other day I saw a video you did, and it was you were sitting on the back of the truck, and you were talking about a truck just came in.
Yeah.
And what you had to do after the job. A lot of people don't know that. There's a lot of work that has to happen even after the job is done. You got to send everything back. You got to do inventory. You got to do all that.
You got to see what's missing, what's not missing. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But it's that type of stuff that I want to educate people, just like you're doing, Greg. We are both like passionate about educating people, and I think identifying the industry. And
that's why I'm telling you, we got to come out with an electric site.
We are going to do that. Yeah. We are going to do that. Greg convinced me. He told me I had to come out with an electric site here and do just what he's doing, but for electric and
because
lighting
it's
and
needed.
Stuff. It really is needed
out there.
It's absolutely needed.
It'll be the same thing as grip support, but for electricians.
And this is why I did Onset University too, because there are so many people who just don't understand the business. And I think the problem is ultimately to be successful, you understand it. We understand it the same way because of experience, because we've been here. It's a truism. I want to cut the time off for guys so they have some sort of ability to plan, to mold themselves so they don't get bogged down. They don't stay in a loser market for a while. They know how to network. They know what people are expecting. And to remind them that may be a set. It may look all cool and everything. That is a place of business. And you have to conduct yourself in a business-like manner. And that's what a lot of guys forget. So that's what I'm trying to do, and thank you for mentioning it. I really appreciate it. I'll do more on my site later, but hey, buddy, absolutely awesome to come. Thank you so much, Greg.
Thanks everybody for watching, and I just want to say thank you for everybody that supported me out there, and all the people that didn't support me. Thank you because of you, I did everything that I did.
That's right. I'm just going to take a minute, and I just want to talk a little bit about what we've done here and the awesome guys that helped me with this. Hunter Rogers, Nick Brandstetter, Travis Thomas. Nick works for me full time here, and we got the idea of trying to pull this off because we wanted to show your site. I
appreciate that.
And what we learned here is that we can do this, we can make this happen, and this is something, if you're interested in this, if you're interested in doing something for yourself or your company about social media, because we're making a podcast right now as well as a TV show. We're putting on Facebook Live. Come talk to me. Give me a call at 714-609-3545. I can help you out. I can tell you how we could maybe package that for you and get it to you in a real good way. And I got Paul Roberts here, who is with my usual radio show that I do, and we can help you out. So, it's something we're doing here. It's something that I'm vitally interested in, and I know I've been talking to a lot of people that are very interested now in social media and video, because that is the way to market yourself these days. So
let's educate people.
That sounds good, brother. Thank you so much, my man. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. All right. See you soon.
Cut. That's a wrap.